This segment is sponsored by On Center Software.
Welcome to Construct Tech TV. From bridges in Pennsylvania to the replica Eiffel Tower in China, I'm once again going to bring you inside 5 innovative construction projects. Today, we'll be looking at a development project in the Bronx, rehab of the Old Forge Bridge, a new sports dome, the Eiffel Tower in China, and a climate resiliency project. First up, let's head to the Bronx. Here, a new 12-story residential building is being constructed. We'll begin by looking at the construction specs, and then we'll dive right into the technology used on this project. UA Builders Group is responsible for the 115 feet tall building. But here is what makes this building really stand tall. The project team collaborated throughout multiple phases of the project. This includes design, pre-construction, scheduling, and even estimating. On this particular project, Building Information Modeling, otherwise known as BIM, truly elevated this project. BIM displayed all of the building components and the systems. The improved coordination, communication with all the trades resulted in a shorter schedule and reduced costs. Now talk about taking BIM to the next level. The Old Forge Bridge in Quincy Township, Pennsylvania is one of only 2 that still have Phoenix columns. For those of you who might not know about a Phoenix column, it was patented in 1861. Now, I did a little research on this, and that is why it is so very rare that any bridge today has these built-up beams. Preserving this type of historical structure can be truly challenging, and now new funding has been granted for work on the Old Forge Bridge. Case Construction Equipment gave $25,000 to Quincy Township. This will be used for the replacement and repair work on the Old Forge Bridge. And you might imagine the bridge has been steadily deteriorating. With grant money, it is being refurbished. And it's nice to see this project revitalizing a little piece of history. When you think of innovation in a sports complex, I'm going to guess you probably think of your favorite professional sports team. But domes are changing for youth and amateur sports, and your company will need to know exactly what to expect. So let's take a look at the new sports dome in East Fishkill, New York. It will house 4 baseball fields and 4 multi-sports fields. Now, to give you an idea of just how big this really is, it's 3 full-size football fields and 8 acres under just one roof. The innovative dome leverages a patented Baez cable net system. It allows air structures to span several acres, and it overcomes the obstacle of overstressing all the fabric. This also enables the dome to meet the same structural code standards as conventional buildings. The results are truly impressive. Significant cost savings and shorter installation times are expected. The dome will take several months to construct and about 6 weeks to install. In the end, it will bring a lot of innovation to youth and amateur sports complexes. Let's move on to the Eiffel Tower. No, I'm not talking about the one in Paris, although I was just there and it's quite impressive. I'm talking about the Macau Eiffel Tower in China. It is roughly half the scale of the original, but it required additional technology in the planning and design of the modern structure. The design team drafted the tower using software which provided a visual representation. It also kind of helped detect potential clashes. This saved a significant amount of time than the original. One other challenge was ensuring the correct critical wind loading calculations for the tower. This is essential due to the issue of typhoons. The team applied the equivalent static wind of load approaches. This helps determine the wind loads. The design team also scrutinized the wind-induced dynamic response at the tower's top peak. Through this scenario planning, the construction team created accurate design. But perhaps even more important, which I think is really cool, China has a super safe structure. When disaster strikes, communities come together to rebuild. That is exactly what we see on the Rockaway Boardwalk, which is currently undergoing construction following Hurricane Sandy. The boardwalk was rebuilt this past winter and fall. $140 million was invested to repair the beach. This includes buildings, restrooms, and lifeguard stations. And there are some pretty innovative techniques used on this project. This includes geotextile sandbag installation, baffle walls, and a sand retaining wall. It is so encouraging to see how communities and workers come together to rebuild after tragedy strikes. That's your Tech Update for today.